Hello children, welcome back. So today we are gonna start with pressure in fluids. The topic that is pressure in fluids. Okay, this we are gonna study. So the firstly which I have taken here is fluids. Okay, we'll see what is fluids. So before getting into fluids, we will just have a glance. Okay, so as what we know generally, we know that fluids means capable to flow, isn't it? So capable to flow liquids, this is what we know. Pressure in fluids, in that, as we know, fluids means capable to flow through liquids. Okay, so but here by the definition what we can say, the fluids means the substance that can flow are called fluids. Okay, the substance that can flow through are called fluids. Say for example, water is flowing, means it's a fluid, isn't it? It's a fluid, it's a liquid fluid where it is falling down. So the substance that can flow are called fluids. Okay, so say for example, we are taking it as it may be liquids or gases too. So before, earlier in general we only know that it is capable to flow in forms of liquids, whereas fluids are actually the substances that can flow are called fluids, and the examples are liquid and gases. Okay, so say for example, in your homes, okay, while using gases, it will be connected to pipe. It will be connected through pipe to stove, isn't it? Here gas will be there, pipe will be there, and it will be connected to stove, isn't it children? So means it is flowing. The fluid is flowing. The gas fluid is flowing inside the pipe. Got it? Got an idea? So it means that the substance that can flow are called fluids. Okay, so we shall see that out of all liquids and solids, water and air are common example for fluids, isn't it? Out of everything, in generally we can say that air are common examples for fluids. Air will be flowing, isn't it? Air will be there everywhere. So it's a best ever common example for fluids. Clear children? So now let us move on to another point, that is, as we know that solids extract pressure on surface due to the weight, isn't it? So what happens? Solids will exert pressure on surface due to their weight. Because of weight, what happens? They exert solids exert pressure, isn't it? Okay, on surface due to their weight. Likewise, fluid also exerts pressure as they too have weight. Agree children? Fluids too have weight. Say for example, water. Even water does contain weight, isn't it? So likewise, that is what we have written here. Fluids also exerts pressure as they too have weight. Okay, they too have some weight. So let us take here. I have taken a bottle. Okay, I have taken a bottle here. So let us fill this bottle with water. Okay, the bottle is filled with water, and the bottle contains some nozzle. Here taking it as nozzle, whereas nozzle is connected with balloon. Okay, bottle is connected with, the nozzle is connected with balloon. When the liquid pressure, means the water pressure will be there. When it exerts some water pressure, it obviously moves through the nozzle towards the balloon, isn't it? So it applies its force to flow to balloon. When we fill the bottle with water, the water passes through nozzle. This is the nozzle, okay, where water gets into balloon. Balloon gets into water gets into balloon. Means fluid is exerting force. This means fluid is exerting pressure. Isn't it, children? So by this we can say even water has some pressure. Okay. So for example, taking one other example, let us take, we'll take it as dam. Okay. Dams will be there. Dams contains gates, isn't it? When the gate is opened, the pressure of the water flows. Isn't it, children? The pressure of the water flows. Okay, so it means that fluid is exerting pressure. That is, water fluid is exerting pressure. Likewise, we'll take one other example, that is, if we keep the fluid in a container, then it exerts pressure on the inner side of the container in all directions. Okay, this is what we have taken here. If we keep the fluid in container, so this is a container, let us take it as this as a container, then it exerts pressure on the inner side. This is the inner side. Okay, children, this will be the inner side of container. This is a container and this is the inner side. Okay, in all directions. Say for example, the container is filled with water. Okay, the container is filled with water. So water it is having pressure, isn't it? It is having pressure in all the directions. In all the directions it will be having pressure. Say for example, if we make a hole here, okay, the water pressure pushes it. The water comes out by its pressure. Okay, by its pressure the water comes out. It means that the side of container in all direction the pressure is pushing. Okay, the pressure is there in all the directions. Got it, children? In a container. This is an example. Okay, I hope now you got the pressure in fluids. Children, this is what we can say, the pressure of fluids. Fine. So now let us move on to buoyancy. Okay. Now let us move on to buoyancy. So buoyancy means the upward force acting on a body when it is particularly on fully immersed in any liquid. This is called buoyancy. Okay. In a very easy method, we'll learn what is buoyancy. Upward force will be there, which will be acting on a body. Okay. In particular or fully immersed. It may be either particularly, partially or particularly or fully immersed in any liquid. Okay. This is called buoyancy. As by definition it is. So let us take a container here. Okay. Let us take a container. Container is filled with water. We are gonna fill the container with water. Clear, children? Or else you can take a bucket. Okay. This game we have already played in our childhood days, isn't it? Similarly, but by that time we were not knowing as it is buoyancy. But when we come into subject, we'll get to know buoyancy. It is buoyancy. So we have already played. Bucket will be filled with water. When we immerse the jug by pressing it inside the water, it bounces back, isn't it? So this is what buoyancy means. So in very easy method we'll learn. So taking this container and container is filled with water, whereas jug we are placing the jug downwards. Okay, we are placing the jug downwards and we are putting some pressure by hand. We are putting some pressure by hand. Okay, children. Say for example, if this is the container, we are pushing it down. We are pushing it down. Okay. So what happens? When we push down, it bounces back, isn't it? Immersed in liquid, upward force, it pushes back. That upward force we call it as buoyancy. upward force acting on body is partially or fully immersed in any liquid is called buoyancy. The upward push will be there, no? That we call it as buoyancy. So now let us see the upward force exerted by the water on bottle. Okay, taking an example, that is upward force exerted by water on the bottle is known as upward thrust. Okay, or buoyant force. As we have taken here mug, similarly taking bottle, the upward force exerted. Say for example, a container will be there, will immerse the bottle inside. Okay, what happens? It pushes back, it pushes upward, isn't it? It pushes upward. So that we call it as upthrust or buoyant force. The upward force exerted by water on the bottle is known as upward thrust or buoyant force. Clear, children? I hope this is clear with buoyancy and buoyant force. Okay. So now let us see why subjects float or sink when placed on surface of water. Okay. Now let us see how does it work. So let us take an activity for this. So we'll take our activity based on the textbook. So I have to prove that why objects float. The question is why objects float or sink when placed on the surface of water. Okay, let us conduct an activity now. So conducting an activity, firstly we'll take a beaker filled with water. So we'll take beaker is filled with water. Okay, taking beaker and it is filled with water. Take an iron nail and it is placed on the surface. Place it on the surface of the water. So take a nail. Okay. Keep it on the surface of water. Take a nail and keep it on surface of water. What happens is our question. So by the activity what we can say is take a beaker and filled with water. Here we have taken and it is filled with water. The beaker is filled with water. Clear? So filled with water, take a iron nail. So taking iron nail here, place it on surface of water. So this is surface, we are placing iron nail here. Okay, placing it on surface of water. So placing it on surface. So what happens? Observe what it happens. So what happens when we observe? The nail sinks, means it goes down. So nail sinks. Nail sinks. It means that the nail is going down. Okay, the nail is going down towards the beaker. So the force due to the gravitational attraction. The force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth on the iron nail pulls it downwards. Okay, so what happens? Force will be there due to gravitation of attraction. So gravitation of attraction will be towards downwards, isn't it? Gravitational towards downwards. So attraction of the earth on iron nail. So gravitational force is attracting the iron nail which pulls it downwards. Okay, so we have got a nail which is sink. There is an upthrust of water on the nail. So what happens? Water will be upthrust. So H2O will be on upthrust. Got it, children? There is an upthrust of water on the nail which pushes it upward. Okay, but the downward force acting on the nail is greater. Clear? Downward force will be there, no? Which will be greater. So it will be greater. So the downward force acting on nail is greater than upthrust of water on nail. Clear, children? this is an activity to be conducted, and so far we have discussed with this. So what happens? Upthrust of water on the nail will be there, which pushes it upwards, but downward force acting on the nail is greater. Downward force is greater than upthrust of the water on the nail. So this is very simple activity. So what happens? Again it sinks. It will be downwards itself. Does the iron nail goes up? No, right? It sinks due to gravitational force. So that is what we have written here. So it sinks. Okay. So now let us see one other activity. Okay. Now let us see one other activity with a similar type. So what happens in the next activity? Let us see. Let us take a beaker filled with water. So beaker. So this is a beaker. Beaker is filled with water. Yes, beaker is filled with water. I am writing it as H2O. H2O means water. Okay. Take a beaker filled with water. Take a piece of cork and an iron nail of equal mass. Say for example, we will take mass of iron. I will take Fe means iron. I will take it as 5 grams. Okay. Similarly, I will take cork. Cork mass. Let me take it as 5 grams. So it has to be with both has to be with same mass, equal mass. Okay. So place on surface of the water. I am placing nail on surface of water as well as cork. Okay. As well as I am placing cork on surface of water. What happens is a question. So what happens? Obviously the nail goes down. Isn't it, children? The nail goes down and it settles at the bottom, whereas cork floats. Okay, cork floats. So by this we can say the cork floats while the nail sinks. Isn't it? Cork will get settled, whereas cork will be floating. This happens because of difference in the density. The density will be different for both. Density will be different for both. So the density of substance is defined as mass per unit volume. Density. Let me write it as density of substance is defined as mass per unit volume. Okay, it is defined as mass per unit volume. So the density of cork is less than the density of water. So even water do have some density, isn't it? Density of water is less. Okay. So the density of cork is less as compared with water. This is less compared with water. So the density of cork is less than the density of water. This means that the upthrust, again the upthrust of the water on the cork is greater. This is upthrust of the water is greater than weight of the cork. Okay, children. Cork the weight ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It will be lesser as compared to water density. So the weight of the cork is less. So what happens? The cork floats. Cork float ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Got it, children? So what you can do is, when you do this activity, you can take a nail as well as you can take a small piece of wooden piece you can take. So when you place it on water surface, the nail sinks down. Okay, whereas the wooden piece floats. Why? Because the density of wooden will be less as compared to water. Got it, children? So what we can say, the density of an iron nail is more than density of water. Okay, this means that upthrust of water on the iron nail is less than weight of nail. Okay, this means that upthrust of water on iron nail is less than weight of the nail. Clear? So what happens again? It sinks. So the nail sinks. Clear, sir? Therefore, by this we can say that object of density less than that of liquid float on the liquid. Okay, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So density of any substance we can take, so is less, will be liquid float. So it floats on the liquid. The objects of the denser greater density, when it is greater, what happens when density will be there itself, right? When the density is greater than that of liquid, then it sinks in the liquid. Okay, simple, in very easy manner. In a very easy manner, if you want to learn, means density ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, say for example wooden piece ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅದು ಸಿಂಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು will go down. Okay, this what explains the activity. Okay children, this is the activity, and so far we have explained. So tomorrow we're gonna continue with next topic. Thank you.